Good morning, good evening, and welcome back to War Thunder. This time we are going to be taking out the American 6-7 lineup. My American 6-7 lineup consists of the following vehicles. First off, we have the light tank, the M41A1 Walker Bulldog. It gets armed with APDS, doesn't get heat like the German one, but it's still pretty good if you know where to aim. Next up, the medium tank, the M26. Now, a lot of people don't think this is very good, but I actually enjoy it very much. I think the mobility is okay, so I like it. And it has a powerful 90mm gun, so you can smash most of the German tanks you're gonna be facing. Next up is the M56 Scorpion. And this is a really fun vehicle. It's just a little rat, super fast, no mobility, no armor, very good mobility, and it's a 90mm that fires heat as well. But you often want to bring majority of APHE. Next is the T-34 heavy tank. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not my favorite heavy tank. It has a 120 which fires a solid shot, so it's not very good in my opinion. And there are a lot of weak spots on this. So it gets shit on if you face a player who knows what he's doing. Then we have the best heavy tank, in my opinion, for this 6-7 lineup, the T26E5. People just don't know what to do against this thing. But if they do, just try to hide your weak spot here, but if you go hold down, they won't be able to do anything to you, basically. This is just a beefed up M26. It has the same gun, but it has a lot stronger armor. Then we have the T26E1. It's a Pershing which has added armor. I think originally was from a Panther. But it has a better gun, but it trades some of the armor, since if you know what you're doing, you're just gonna shoot it right here and you're gonna blow up the ammunition. Then I just have the M42 as my AA. Like, Gaijin, what's this? Please fix this. Like, we need a mid-tier SPA for USA. Like, please. And then I have 3 planes. First off, the Premium F2G. This is the old event plane. It's basically a better Corsair. And I carry 2 1,000-pound bombs. Then we have the F8F Bearcat. It's a naval plane, 3 1,000-pound bombs and 20 mil-stack and pen Panthers and stuff. And then I have the P51H. And it also carries 2 1,000-pound bombs, and it's also a very good fighter. So this is my American 6-7 lineup. Now let's get into battle. And here we are on our first game. We are spawning in on the map Frozen Pass, and I'm using my first spawn to spawn the M56 Scorpion. On this match, since I am in a pretty fast vehicle, I'm going to try to make my way to the hill right in front of me. And from this hill I should be able to get a few shots on any enemies trying to climb up towards Alpha. Since I am pretty fast and we are facing Germany, since they are pretty slow, I should be able to get a few free kills. Now we have arrived on the hill. We're gonna kill the first enemy, which is a Walker Bulldog. Another Walker Bulldog had just appeared. We're gonna kill him pretty easily as well. Nobody has noticed us, so we're just gonna take our time loading a shell and then kill this AUF-1 once we see him through the smoke. But now it seems that our position has been noticed by this Tiger H, so we're just gonna retreat. We get lucky that he does no damage to us and we're just gonna stay here. Now I do also hear enemies on our right, so we're gonna have to be careful about them as well. Now switching positions to try to kill the enemy on the right. It seems this enemy Jag Tiger has no headset. So it's a pretty easy kill, as we just shoot him through the side of his tank, killing him quite easily. Now we've taken care of the enemy to our right and we can start focusing on any enemies to our immediate front once again. We do need to be careful if enemies have noticed us or the respawn. And we are also starting to take fire from the right side from an enemy leaving their spawn. But we get lucky as he basically does no damage to us. Now unfortunately we do go down in the M56 Scorpion as our position did get swarmed. We have multiple other vehicles we can choose, and we choose to spawn in the Jumbo Person, the T26E5. Killing this Conqueror from the side with a PHE, we are now going to move and try to defend the Charlie Point as it's now getting captured by the enemy. Now facing no resistance as Charlie, we capture it very easily. We're now gonna have to look at the minimap, and we see that both Alpha and Bravo is being taken by the enemy. So we're just gonna have to move back to Bravo in order to deny the capture point. We do need to be careful, however, since this was just recently captured. They know that multiple enemies are on Charlie Point, so we're gonna have to be careful and look where the enemies are facing before driving in to fight them, since they know that we are coming from this direction. Having now arrived at the outskirts of Bravo, we scout the area and see a FV-4005. Unfortunately, he has a very spaced out crew and we don't manage to kill him in one shot. So we're just gonna go down into the dip and focus on other targets, since he's no longer a threat to us. We see a Tiger 2H looking at our direction, but we are confident in our armor, and we just pull forward, shoot him in the side of the tank, leaving him killed. Now, since I see no more enemies surrounding the capture point, we're just gonna capture the Bravo point. Our friendly has pinged for help and we face him, and we see a tortoise advancing on him, but since the tortoise has turned its side to us, it's the easy kill and we save our teammate in the process. Now that we have captured Bravo point, we are going to continue advancing on the enemy. I do hear a bunch of enemies to town right up this hill, but I don't want to just drive right up, since I don't have good enough gun depression and they can just shoot me in the lower front plate. So we're gonna go around the side and try to flank them instead, but we need to be careful since there is a enemy spawn to our right, and that enemy has now spawned and is shooting us from the mountain right in front of us. I didn't see him at first, but after his second shot I did find him, and it turned out to be a Israeli AMX-30. Lucky for us, he has a solid shot and he wouldn't be able to kill us in one shot. So now we are faced with kind of a dilemma. We have a target in front of us. Targets can come from our right and left, so we're gonna have to be quick about getting into cover. We see this FV-4005 advancing. We shoot him to try to kill him in one shot, but unfortunately we did not do so. So now we have two major problems. First off, this AMX-13 to our right in front of us, and this FV-405 to our immediate left. So I need to choose to kill one of the enemies quickly in order to have enough time to kill the other one too. So I choose to double team this AMX-13 with this friendly tank, and we do so after firing a shot straight in his turret. Now I am pinged on a map, however, which I need to get away from their spawn super quickly. The FV-405 goes down as well to friendly, but the problem now is that every enemy knows the rough position I am in, so we're just gonna bunker down here and wait for a prey to appear right in front of us. Now, as a ARL-44 has started engaging our teammate, we're gonna quickly try to help him. By drawing the fire from the ARL, we'll have trouble penetrating our armor. Turns to us, but we just get the shot straight through his turret. And that also means we have enough spawn points to spawn in our first nuke. Sadly, we don't get to the battlefield in time, so we don't manage to drop it, but still a nuke. Taking first place in the team with 9 kills and 2 zones captured, managing to earn a total of 8,655 research points and 95,345 silver lions. Second game brings us to fields of Normandy. My first spawn is the American T-54 heavy tank. I am going to take the T-34 into a position where I can overlook both Alpha and Bravo. I can see any enemies moving across the open field to contest Bravo, but my main focus will be on Alpha, where I can deny the enemy any space to maneuver around and also advance to get to behind the buildings on the Alpha point. Having now arrived at this position, I start by scouting out any enemies that I can find, and the first shot I'm going to take is on this Tiger 1. The first shot manages to explode his ammunition. I aimed for his ammunition and I did hit it. You need to be careful if playing this tank since you only have access to solid shot, and you can struggle to one-shot tanks if you don't know where their ammunition is located. The second tank we're going to engage is a Tiger 1, and here you can see what I'm talking about. If I would have had a PHE, this Tiger would have been dead. But as I do have solid shot, the damage is a lot less significant, so we're gonna have to go for a second shot in order to kill this Tiger. And the second shot, I aim a bit low and to the left, and he eats it. Now, seeing that this T-34 has been killed, I don't see any enemies remaining on the Alpha point. I do know that there is a lot of enemies left, however, since I can see them on the minimap. So I'm just gonna try to push them and quickly remove them from Alpha point. Since I am no longer useful in the position I am in right now, I need to help my team as best as possible, and I thought the best way was to just clear them out of this ditch so we can advance and get a good defensive position on A. And the first enemy we come across is a IS-2, and we absolutely murder him. Seems like the other target did also get taken care of, so now we have cleared out Alpha point for our team and we are now safe to advance. Having captured Alpha zone, I am now going to advance to try to kill this T-34. I aim for his turret cheek, but unfortunately I aim a bit too high and the shell ricochets. In this position I am kind of stuck. I can't really reverse out of here since I will just get shot from the enemies leaving the spawn. So I decide to stay here and try to prevent the enemy from reaching Alpha zone for as long as possible. So my goal here is basically to just prevent them from advancing. I am hoping that my teammates can capture C or B so we can get the ticket advantage once again. But in the meantime I'm just going to stay here and try to prevent the enemy from reaching Alpha and getting a 3-cap advantage. We do kill the T-34 when he was distracted. He turned his turret face to us and we can easily kill him to the side. We are now getting attacked by a ASU-85 which can penetrate us. So he takes out our barrel and we're just gonna have to pray that he doesn't get any more of our crew. After barely surviving the ASU-85's attacks, we are now completely repaired but on the 2 crew. The good thing is that our teammates have managed to secure Charlie Point for us, so our strategy has worked. We have prevented them from reaching Alpha Zone and we have made them spend a lot of spawn points trying to dig us out of our position. We are however still alive. We are trying to deal with this anti-aircraft, but he goes down pretty quickly as he didn't have a perfect side shot. I am looking over to my left, however, since there was a EBR spotted over there a few minutes ago and I wasn't really sure where he was, but it turned out he was behind that building. However, he won't try to pull out since he will just get shot once again. I am seeing this Panther G and another Soviet SPG, but I just checked with my machine guns and I see that they are still spawn protected, so no idea to waste the shots. We're however going to pick off a few more crew of this SPA, and if he continues doing this he will go down eventually as I've just picked off most of his crew. We can also see that the EBR has gone down and we are now completely safe from our left. Our teammates have also captured the Bravo zone, so we are having really good success with preventing the enemies from reaching the capture points. But that is however the problem with this map. Once you get control of the Alpha zone you can basically just keep the enemy in the spawn, so that is something Gaijin will need to try to fix it down the road. But When it is like this, we are just going to try to take advantage of this and win the match. We can once again see that Solid Shot can struggle against any targets that has a lot of dead space as we take a shot to this Gvozdika, but unfortunately we don't do any damage. So we're just gonna have to wait for him to pull forward once again, and he does so, and now we get the kill. Having repaired once again, we're finally going to take care of this M42 that has been pestering us for a long time. So that is good for us, and we're now seeing another enemy tank which is going to pop out from the same direction as this enemy Soviet SPG. So we're just gonna wait, and once he goes forward we're going to take care of this IS-2. We're now starting to close in on a nuke, but unfortunately we have lost control over Charlie Point. Looking at the minimap, we have no one that is able to defend Bravo, so we are probably going to lose this. So I make the decision to try to advance to get as much spawn points as necessary to get this nuke, as I don't see this team being able to hold on for much longer, as we've lost multiple enemies, we have lost multiple allied tanks, and we are going to run low on any tanks that can defend all of the capture points. So we're going to try to, after dying to that SU-100P, we're going to spawn in on the other side of the map to try to regain control over Charlie Point. I do choose to bring in the M56 Scorpion as it has good mobility to get around the map, and it has a good gun with both APHE for most targets and heat FS for any heavily armored ones. When I am traveling to Charlie, I do hear a Jagdpanther to our left, and we find him looking at our spawn. He doesn't seem to have a headset as he's standing right next to me and a FE-405. But I do hear another tank, and he creeps up and shoots me, which kills me. Turned out to be a SU-85M. Now spawning in the M41, we quickly locate the SU-85 through the bushes. First shot immobilizes his engine, and the second shot kills him completely. I did actually check for a user site, which I forgot to add. So we are now clearing out the forest, and after we have done that, we are now going to attempt to capture Charlie Point. Looking at the minimap, we have lost Alpha and we are contesting Bravo, but it looks like we are not going to hold Bravo as well. So this game is turning into a loss, and we are also struggling to have control of many capture points since many of our teammates have already left this game. After having captured the Charlie Point, we now have lost both Alpha and Bravo. We are actually running low on teammates as well. We are getting close to a nuke, and I think that is the only way to save this game. But the problem is they have multiple aircraft up running as well. So it's going to be a struggle. We are going to make our way to the Bravo Point to both try to capture it and also alleviate some of the pressure from the other spawns, since they have taken up positions to fire at any new spawns. And it's vital that we have as many teammates as possible to help us win this game. We see a ELC this, we take him out pretty easily with one shot to the side of the tank. And we are now going to advance on Bravo. Now we're finding all of the enemies that are spawn camping. We take the shot at the first enemy, and he goes down with one shot. I do also hear engines to our left, and it looks like we are also losing control over Charlie Point. But I am so close to nuke now that I'm not even gonna worry about it and try to get the remaining spawn points, and we take out a Panther that was also spawn camping. That leaves us with enough spawn points to spawn in the nuke plate. Unfortunately for us though, we do get intercepted by a Yak-15 and we go down. That leaves us with no way to win this match. Unfortunately, that is how the game goes. Returning to the M41 at Bravo Point, we are going to take the last kill of the game on a Japanese M4A3 Sherman. First thing does absolutely nothing, and second shot kills him. But that also means that this game has been lost. We tried our best, but it wasn't enough. With 12 kills and 2 zones captured, we take first place in our team. We managed to earn a total of 9,804 research points and 79,188 silver lions. For our next game, we find ourselves on the map Maginot line. We are spawning in the M26 Pershing. In this game, I was trying to reach the hill located behind where the capture point usually is located, but before that I will have to engage a lot of enemies before I can reach that position. I start aiming in at a target 2, but a T-44-100 shows his side. I try to go through his side, but he only manages to take a little bit of damage with me tracking him. The problem now was that I had 3 enemies staring at my position, all capable of murdering me with one shot. So I will be trying to relocate, but this target 2 fires at me, which reveals my position. The M41 also fires at me but fails to penetrate us, but both of the enemies now know where I am. So we are going to have to stay in this position and try to bait their attention while our friendlies attack them. It is both a Ferdinand and this T-44-100. So we're just gonna stay here and try to hold their attention for as long as possible until the friendlies can clean them up. The Ferdinand goes down to our friendly, and it's only a matter of time before the T-44 succumbs to the same fate. Now that all 3 enemies have been cleared out, we are now free to push up to the hill I wanted in the beginning. Now, having reached the hill, we are clear to start engaging any enemies we find. The first one we find is a deaf Jagged Panther player. He does seem to have a headset, so we have an easy first kill. We do see a Praga and a Jagged Panther 4. We take the Jagged Panther 4 since he is the larger threat to us. The Praga can't do anything to us from this range. We fire the first shot, knocking out his driver and his engine. We now load high explosive to ensure a kill on the Praga. And after reloading, we fire the shot and he goes down to overpressure. This is also why you should be carrying at least some high explosive rounds in every tank, since if a open top shows a little bit of his tank, you can kill him no matter what he shows. And you can also secure a kill. The next target is a Tiger P, and we managed to shot trap his turret even though it really wasn't necessary, but we will take the kill nonetheless. Now I do have some enemies on the left side of the map who are making a very hard time for our friendlies to advance. We fired the first shot, knocking out a Ferdinand who was holding up our entire team. Now see a M109 as well who has just spawned. He seems to be aware of our position, but he fired and I know he has a substantial reload to that 155, so we are clear to drive forward and we're shooting in the side of the tank, but unfortunately it does not manage to kill him. But he will have to retreat and he will stay back for a while. Having suffered a critical hit, we barely managed to walk away with our life. But he is going to pay dearly for firing at us, and we kill this M41 who fired at the back of our turret. We now also find another tank who has just spawned. It is a Soviet SP. We are going to try to position ourselves to absolutely murder him once he shows us enough of his turret. And once he does, we just fire right at him and APHE manages to take care of the rest. We now need to be careful of any enemies who have spawned on the left side, and I know that there are a lot of enemies who have spawned that we get pinged on the map multiple times. I don't see anybody, however, and we need to focus on the other tank that fired at us once we care of this. Now, seeing that a Panther has spawned in, he is a dangerous threat to our advancing team. So we're gonna take our time aiming this shot and we kill him quite easily when we penetrate his side. Now turn the attention back to this Soviet ISU who shot us earlier. After reloading, we're going to scout here. We need to be careful, however, since that is their spawn, so we don't want to get caught in any new spawns that we can't fire back at. We don't see him and we are getting closer to a nuke once again, so we're just gonna retreat, play it a bit more safe and look over to see if we have any new spawns. We are looking at the minimap and we now see that the ISU has been pinged on the map, so we should be able to get a shot on him. Using our binoculars we do finally catch a glimpse of him, and shooting down some trees he becomes clear. But unfortunately we don't manage to get to the kill. So I left the hill since I didn't feel like I was useful anymore in that position, and we kill a Tiger 2P trying to leave his spawn. That is good as well. We get lucky that this Soviet SPG didn't fire at our rear since he actually can penetrate us, at least our engine deck. But we're now going to push even deeper and we do find this M109G that had eluded us since the beginning of the game. So we're gonna try to get an angle on him, but unfortunately it looks like we can't, so we're gonna have to close the distance. Now closing the distance we do get the first shot, which doesn't fuse, which means we are going to have to retreat and wait till we have reloaded once again. Since we're only 2 crew, it's going to take a while. Now having reloaded, we're going to take the second shot at him, which doesn't kill him again. So he has now eaten 2 90mm APHE rounds, but the friendly does manage to pick up the kill. Quite unfortunate that we didn't manage to kill him, but it is kinda my fault as well since I didn't aim for ammunition and I just thought it would fuse. But nonetheless we're going to focus on the other spawn right now since we just want to clean up and end this game. So we peek over the corner to see if there has been any new spawns, and we find a Sysdörer 45, which is under spawn protection, so we're just gonna retreat and wait for him to get out of spawn protection. But before that happens, the game ends. Once again taking first place, we managed to earn a total of 8,253 research points with 74,519 zero lives. That being caused by 10 kills. Yes, so my thoughts for the American 6-7 lineup. It's a really good, fun lineup. You will be able to bully many German mains in this, but jokes out of the way, it has some fantastic heavy tanks. So if you enjoy heavy tanks, this is definitely something I would stride and aim for. You also have a fun little light tank. You can use the M50 Ontos. I don't use it, I think it sucks ass, but if you want it, you can actually use this as well. I just bring the M41 instead. You will also have, since this is America, access to some really good CAS as well. So if you're in a CAS main, this is also a very good lineup for you. The only downside is, well, you don't have an SPA. You have one, but like it's a 4-window SPA. But in general, a really good lineup and a really fun one at that. That is also the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. As always, stay tuned as there will be more content to come about War Thunder. Until next time, take care.